Hello world and all that inhabit it. Welcome to another L2FL Studio tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use multi-output plugins and routing them independently with MIDI and their mixer inserts. So for our example, I'm going to be using Contact as it is fairly standard and is the go-to multi-output plugin. And the concept with this is we don't create individual instances of Contact. We create one instance of Contact that holds 16 or 8 or 4 or 7 or whatever amount of instruments that we can control independently with MIDI. And the reason for this is CPU. So what I'm going to do is in Contact itself, I'll get it configured for the mixer and MIDI. To do this, I click on the gear of the wrapper icon, and then I set my MIDI input port to whatever I like, 0. And then in the processing tab, I go to Auto Map Outputs. Boom. The reason I do this is so that the outputs within Contact will correlate to the mixer inserts. There. All right. So I'm just going to load up 3 instruments: piano, minimize you, a clavichord, clavinet, and a bass guitar or something. Pre-bass. Boom. Alright, so I'll just get these open so we can configure them. So the first thing that you'll probably notice is in the piano roll, when you've got your instruments laid out like this, you'll expect all 3 of them to play. You're wrong. It'll only play the first one on MIDI channel 1. If I were to route all my instruments to MIDI channel 1, it'll play them all. But we want to control them independently. So to do this, we need MIDI out, or BSR or articulate, whichever one's your preference. MIDI out comes with FL Studio, but BSR articulate is ideal, especially with its key switching capabilities. Alright, so now we've got a MIDI out, and we'll remember that we routed our Contact to port 0. Port 0 there. So logically we can assume that when I'm on channel 1 and in port 0, I'll hit a piano. Which I did. And then if I go to MIDI output 2 and change it to channel 2, I'll be playing the clavinet. And then if I logically go to channel number 3, I'll be able to trigger the bass guitar. Beautiful. So that's our routing MIDI-wise sorted. But now we're faced with a very big problem. If we open up our mixer, we'll notice that as I go through my MIDI outs, they'll all go to the same channel. Contact. Same channel. And as we all know, different instruments require different processing to get the best out of them. So how do we remedy this? With Contact itself, every plugin's going to be a little bit different for this, but the principle applies. So I've probably noticed that all of our instruments are going to ST1 within Contact. Just move this so we can all see. It's going to there. It's going to there. And it's going to there. So to remedy this, we just need to go into the output little tab in Contact, then click create separate master output channel. I won't do this for the giant because it's the first one in the chain and it would be useless creating another output for that unless we wanted it named automatically. So if I output in the clavinet, I'll go to create separate master output, and that's labeled. And again with the pre-bass, create separate master output. Now we've still got the same problem. They're all going to the same mixer track within FL's mixer itself. But we'll notice that they're separated within Contact. So to fix this, we need to mess with Contact's outputs. And this is going to feel very weird, but ST1, which is the piano, that's fine as it is. For the clavinet, we have to click on the 1-2, double click or single click, and second down to the list, just ignore what it says. So your piano's ST1, you go to aux 1 and aux 2, so it'll go plug in 3 and 4. And yeah, whatever, no one cares. And then number 1, number 2, number 3. You'll notice it'll say 5 and 6. And now all of a sudden, our problems are solved. Piano is on contact. Clavichord, clavinet is on contact +1, and bass guitar is on contact +2. So we can name those accordingly and then route them into buses and do whatever the hell we like. And that is more or less it. One thing to keep in mind though, as you move contact itself, it'll move the plugins with it. Well, outputs with it. So for example, if I were to go into the channel window, plugin settings, if I move it to, I don't know, say mix of 4, everything will be relative to that. So piano is mix of 4, the clavichord will be mix of 4 plus 1, and likewise, which becomes a bit of a pain when you're moving it around and organizing your project, but you can just boss it and deal with it some other way. There you go, guys. Enjoy and have a nice day.